and this is the largest angle. This is the largest angle of my triangle. It means this will become the opposite because this is the side opposite the known angle. Why? Because this is resting on the side, both the known angle and the largest angle. They are resting on this side. This will be called adjacent. And then the longest side is hypotenuse. Don't forget, the largest angle is always opposite the hypotenuse. So these are the basic things you need to know about triangles and applying Pythagoras theorem to triangles. All right. So we'll pick questions. So one more thing is in your question, since in your post-UTME exams, since it is a CBT based exam, which you won't be using calculators, so you should be able to know the sine of some known angles like sine 30 degrees, sine 60 degrees, sine 45 degrees, their cosine, their tangent. So now there is something we do. If you want to find the tangent of any angle, let's say you want to find tan theta. Tan theta is equal to sine theta over cos theta. So we're not going to do all of this in your exams, but I just want to show you some of these things. Then in your leisure time, you can go through it yourself. So when you go through it yourself, you can familiarize yourself with them. So when you see questions, you can solve them. So sine 30 is 1 over 2. How do we come up with this? Now let's do this together. To work for sine 30, let's do this together. Let's say this is my right angle triangle. My hypotenuse, for instance, I'm saying it's 1. All right. Okay, let me say I have an equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle simply means all sides are equal. Equilateral triangle means all sides are equal and all angles are equal. And then the sum of angles in the triangle is 180 degrees, right? Which means here I have 60 degrees, here I have 60 degrees, here I have 60 degrees. So 60 plus 60, 120 plus 60, 180. All right. Since I'm saying this is an equilateral triangle, it also means all sides are equal and all angles are equal. So which means if this place is 1, the whole length of this base is 1. The length of this side is also 1. Now look at what I'm doing here. This, okay, let me change it to a dotted line. All right. So this is a dotted line, is the um is the symmetry of this triangle. That's is the symmetry line dividing this triangle into two. So this dotted line here is dividing this triangle into two equal parts. So which means if I'm dividing this triangle into two equal parts, it means this part will be half, this part will be half, right? Half plus half is 1. So I'm dividing this triangle into two equal parts with this vertical line here. So now I have this. I'm drawing this out. So I have this. Here is half. Here is 1. Here is 60 degrees. Now, because this vertical line is perpendicular to this base, it means this angle here will be 90 degrees. 90 degrees. So now, this side is what I have to look for. And then this side is, because I'm also dividing this into two, it's going to divide this 60-degree angle into two. So I have 30 degrees here. So now what I want to do is, I want to find sine 30 degrees from this triangle. We want to find sine 30 degrees. Now, we remember that we have uh, so stand for sine, this stand for cos, and tan. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is adjacent, A for adjacent over hypotenuse. O tan is opposite, O for opposite over A for adjacent. So these are, you know, so this is how you know the value of sine, cosine, and tangent of a particular angle. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, tan is opposite over hypotenuse. Now you remember what I said. Now here we are, this 30 degrees here is our known angle because we are trying to solve for sine 30 degrees. So 30 degrees here is my known angle. So because 30 degrees is my known angle, this will become my adjacent, right? This will be the opposite. Obviously, this is the longest part of this triangle, and this is the hypotenuse. But don't forget, sine is opposite over hypotenuse, which is opposite is what? 1 over 2. 1 over 2 divided by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the left side 1. So this is 1 over 2 times 1 over 1 if I cross multiply, and I still have 1 over 2. Sine 30 degrees is 1 over 2. If you do that on your calculator, you get 0.5, which is the same as 1 over 2. You just need to know all of these things in your head and how to calculate all of these things. All right. So let's do something. So we can also do the same thing. Hello, please mute your mic. Thank you. All right, so we can do the same thing for sine 60 degrees. So if you want to do for sine 60 degrees, our known angle will change. So I'm going to throw this out again. Somewhere here, this is 60 degrees. This is 30 degrees. This is 1. This is half. This is 1. So now I'm going to do my leveling. Obviously, this is the longest side, always hypotenuse. Now, because this is my known angle, and both the known angle and the largest angle are resting on this side, this will become my adjacent. Now you can see there's a difference between these two because I'm shifting my known angle, I'm shifting my area of focus from 30 degrees to 60 degrees. Now this becomes my adjacent. Now my opposite is the side opposite the known angle. So this becomes opposite, and this is hypotenuse. So sine 60 degrees, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is x, and my hypotenuse is 1. So now, firstly, I have to find the value of x. How do I find the value of x? Pythagoras theorem. Hypotenuse square is equal to opposite square plus adjacent square. So hypotenuse square is 1, opposite is x, plus adjacent square, 1 over 2 square. Down. So this will become 1 square is 1, is equal to a square plus 1 over 2 square is 1 over 4. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to collect like terms. So this will become x squared is equal to, because this is coming over to this side, the positive sign will change to a negative sign. This will become 1 minus this. So if I subtract, I'm going to have x squared is equal to 3 over 4. All right. So I can continue from here and have x is equal to square root of 3 over 4. What did I do? I converted the square from here. I crossed it over to become square root here. I have square here, or I say I multiply both powers by r from indices rule, and then I have x is equal to 3 over 4. So this becomes root 3 over 2. How did I get that? This is the same as root 3 over root 4. And then the square root of 4 is 2. So I have x is equal to root 3 over 2. All right, so the value of my x here is root 3 over 2. So now coming back to this side where I have sine 60 degrees is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Now my opposite is root 3 over 2. So I have sine 60 degrees is equal to root 3 over 2 divided by 1. Anything divided by 1 is still the value. So I have sine 60 degrees is equal to root 3 over 2. So the same way, if you do the same thing for 45 degrees, you do the same thing, you can use to get the value of your 90 degrees. Now that you have two, I've done sine, you can also do the same thing for cos. So to do it for cos, you just do adjacent over hypotenuse. You get it. And after doing that, you can find the value of your tan. You get tan theta is equal to sine theta over cos theta. You get it. That's how we go about it. So now let's take working examples. Okay, maybe before that, let me try that, of course. So we have cos 30 degrees is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Or let me use this example. Let me use this example from here since I've calculated the value of my opposite. So I'll continue from here. If I'm too fast, just let me know so I can slow down the tempo. All right. So here, we've computed the value of opposite as root 3 over 2. All right. So now, we want to get the value of cos 60 degrees. Don't forget, cos is what? Adjacent over hypotenuse. What is adjacent? Adjacent is 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 divided by hypotenuse, which is 1. Anything divided by 1, obviously. Same value. So cos 60 is equal to 1 over 2. Now I said something about tan. I said tan theta is equal to cos theta. Sin theta over cos theta. So the value of sin 60 degrees is equal to sin 60 degrees divided by cos 60 degrees. What is the value of sin 60? Sine 60 is root 3 over 2 divided by cos 60 is 1 over 2. So here I can first multiply. I have root 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. This will obviously change sides rather. The denominator becomes the numerator becomes the denominator. So now 2 can cancel out 2, and I have root 3 over 1, which is the same as root 3. So if you check it on your calculator, you'll find out that the value of tan 60 degrees is root 3. So these are the way you can find the tangent, cosines, sines of known angles like 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 120 degrees, 90 degrees, 150 degrees, etc. So this is the same method you use to get the cos and sine of known angles. So if you've done all of this, you can just get familiar with it, and then so let's move on to working examples. Let's pick it one after the other. So I'm going to clean all of this. So you can get to apply Pythagoras theorem in angles of elevation and depression. You get to apply it in circle theorems when you are dealing with chord, when you are dealing with sectors of a circle. So we're just going to pick an example. So here I have an example that says if x minus 2, if the sides of a triangle are x plus 4 centimeter, x centimeter, and x minus 4 centimeter respectively. If the cosine of the largest angle is 1 over 5, find the value of x. So the question says the sides of a triangle, x plus 4 centimeter, x centimeter, and then x minus 4 centimeter. So firstly, from here, we can judge which is the longest side. Don't forget, the longest side is hypotenuse. So from here, x plus 4, x, and x minus 4. I have x plus 4, I have x, and I have x minus 4. Which should be the longest side? Obviously, the longest side will be x plus 4. Why? Because let's assume my x is 2. If my x is 2, it means x plus 4 is 6. X will remain 2, while x minus 4 is minus 2. Can you see the longest or the largest side is x plus 4? So which means the longest side here in this triangle is the one with x plus 4. So I'm going to label accordingly. So I'm going to have x plus 4. Then I can put the remaining sides anywhere as I see fit, x and then x minus 4. All right. So now the question continues and says the cosine of the largest angle is 1 over 5. The cosine of the largest angle is 1 over 5. What is the largest angle? Remember when I was explaining the basics, I said the largest angle is the angle opposite the largest side, or the angle opposite the longest side. Or you can say the largest angle is the angle opposite the hypotenuse. So how do you get the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse is simply the side opposite the largest angle if you reverse engineer it. So this here, which is, I'll just call it cos theta, is equal to 1 over 5. So this is my largest angle here. So I'm just going to call it theta. I'm going to name this largest angle theta because it was not given. So it says cos theta is equal to 1 over 5. All right. And this is the largest angle. All right. So I have the cos theta as 1 over 5, which is the largest angle. So now how do we go ahead to find the value of x? How do we find the value of x? First of all, we can do the hypotenuse square is equal to opposite square plus adjacent square. Hypotenuse square, x plus 4 square is equal to opposite square
Pause.
So which means the all right. So the question is page 133, question 12, page 123, 133 rather, question 12. So the question says a ladder resting on the vertical wall. So this is the wall, the vertical wall, and the ladder is resting on it. The ladder makes an angle of 2.5 with the rather the tangent of the angle is 2.5 with the horizontal. So this is the horizontal ground. And then the tangent of this angle, which the ladder makes with the ground, is 2.5. So tan theta is equal to 2.5. Now, theta is the angle the ladder is making with the ground. But then the tangent of this angle is what is 2.5 in the question. So I'm writing tan theta is equal to 2.5. Now, if the distance between the foot of the ladder, this is the foot of the ladder, and the wall is 60 centimeters. So the distance between here and here is 60 centimeters. So I'm going to just write this here. Tan theta is equal to 2.5. So here it says if the distance between the foot of the ladder and the wall is 60 centimeters, all right, what is the length of the ladder? So the length of the ladder is what I'm looking for. So if I'm going to label this will be my hypotenuse. Now this is the angle we are working with. So this is opposite. Why this is adjacent? All right. So tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. And what is the value of tan theta? Tan theta is 2.5. My opposite is x because it is unknown. Why the adjacent is
But don't
60
loud it.
centimeters as given in the question, divided by 60. All right. So here, for me to find the value of my x, which is opposite, I'm going to say x is equal to that's by cross multiplying 60 by 2.5. I'll have 60 times 2.5. So x will be equal to, if you multiply 60 by 2.5, you have 150. So 60 times 2.5, 150 centimeters. So the the value of my opposite, which is from here to here, is 150 centimeters. Now I can draw out a new triangle which says hypotenuse, which is the length of my ladder, length of ladder. So L stands for length of ladder. Opposite is 150 centimeters, and then adjacent is 60 centimeters. Now, how do I find the length of the ladder? To get the length of the ladder, I can use Pythagoras theorem, which says hypotenuse squared is equal to opposite square plus adjacent square. So this is hypotenuse square equal to opposite is 150. That's 150 square plus adjacent, which is 60 centimeters, 60 square. So here I'll have square of 150 is 22,500 plus the opposite of the square of 60, which is 3,600. So I'm going to sum this up together. So I'll have, if I add it up, 26,100. Yeah, I'm correct. All right. So adding this together, zero. Okay, let's do this. 22500. Okay, correct. 26,100. So what I have to do is I'll find the square root of 26,100. So if I calculate the square root of 26,100, that's going to be the height of my ladder in centimeter. So you guys can use your calculator. Someone should tell me the result of square root of 26100.
161.55.
161. I didn't get that.
161.55.
161.55. All right. So 161.55 centimeter. So on that question 12. Okay. The options in the question are in meters. So what we have to do here is we have to convert our centimeter to meter. So how do we convert centimeter to meter? So converting centimeter to meter, 100 centimeter makes 1 meter, right? So how do we convert 161.55 centimeter to meter? So I'll say 161.55 centimeter to meter is x, because I don't know it yet. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to cross multiply. I'll say 100 times x is equal to 1 times 161.55. So this becomes 100x is equal to 161.55. So I'm going to divide through by 100, and I'll say x is equal to, if I divide this by 100, I'll have 1.6155 meters. And here in the question, the options are in one decimal place. So I'm going to convert it to one decimal place, and I'll have x equal to 1.6 meters. So the value of the adjacent, which is the length of the ladder, sorry, the value of the hypotenuse, which is the length of the ladder, is 1.6 meters. All right. So do you have any questions? So let me go over it once again. This is the length. This is the length of the ladder. This is the distance between the foot of the ladder and the wall, which is 60 centimeters. And then the question says the ladder makes a angle of the ladder makes an angle with the ground, which its tangent is 2.5, which means the angle between the ladder and the ground is theta, and then the value of tan theta is 2.5. So using that, we calculated the value of opposite, which is where the ladder meets the wall, and the ground, the distance between the ground, right, and where the ladder touches the wall. So that is the opposite. So we calculated the opposite as 150 centimeters, and then we moved on to get the value of the hypotenuse, which is the length of the ladder, using Pythagoras theorem. So we got x is equal to 1.6 meter. So if you have any questions, then let me move on to another question. I'll give you guys an exercise to work on. All right. So I'll write the question out here. It says a hunter 1 point. If you have the foundation pass question, you can check page 17, question 38. So this is the foundation pass question for Unilag Foundation. You can see it here. So if you have this, you can open it. It's actually page 17, question 38. All right. So the question is a hunter 1 point. Is this supposed to be hunter or hunter? Okay. A hunter 1.6 meter tall. We are doing mathematics. All right. Builds a bed on top of a tree. On top of a tree. So you guys have 5 minutes to do this. This is 145. All right, so this is the question. Let me just screen this part. A hunter is 1.6 meter tall, right? This should be 1.6. A hunter is 1.6 meter tall, views a bird on top of a tree at an angle of 145 degrees. If the distance between the hunter and the tree is 13.4 meters, find the height of the tree. All right, so because of time, I'll need you guys answers in the group chat. So you guys should drop your answers. But I believe this should be 45 degrees actually, not 145. I think there's a typo in the question. So this is 45 degrees. So you guys can send your answers in the group chat in the next 30 minutes. I'll also drop the solutions on the group chat. All right. Have a nice day, guys. Enjoy the rest of you.